Pretty cold out. By the way, refreshments are inside.
Good morning, everyone. We're going to get started a little bit changing the program. We're going to start with our second graders at Redshaw School, who when this building opens will be the fourth graders at Redshaw School. And they're going to lead us, if you'll please rise, move your hat, and we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. We're going to keep you warm. We're going to take you inside and make some speeches, and we're going to bring you back out. See that dirt mound over there? We're going to dig the hole to start the construction of your new school. All right? So go. Follow your teachers. Go in and get one. My name is Richard Kaplan, and I have the honor and privilege of being the superintendent of schools here in New Brunswick. Well, some said today and the purpose for us being here would never come. And I'm here to tell you, those who doubted do not know New Brunswick people and how we persevere until we get the job done. I'd like to take this opportunity throughout this morning's ceremony to introduce a number of special people who bring their talents and energies to our city and to our schools and truly make a difference in the lives of our children and the community daily. There are just a few of people who have made today possible, and God willing, will be here when this job is done and our children will enter their new 21st century school. Firstly, I'd like to introduce Mayor Cahill, who will make some remarks in a few minutes. Our state legislative team, headed by Senator Bob Smith, Mr. Mark Larkins, Chief Executive Officer of our State School Development Authority, and of course our New Brunswick Board of Education President, Mr. Edward Spencer. At this time, I'd like to call upon Monsignor Joseph Kerrigan, Sacred Heart Church here in New Brunswick, who will offer the invocation. Monsignor?
Thank you. Just for the record, the most inspiring thing I've heard so far, a second grader who came by and said, wide-eyed, wide-mouthed, that's going to be our school. So if that doesn't capture the hope of our morning, I don't know what does. Let's pray. O God of all creation and construction, you are the rock upon whom all good things are built. On this first full day of spring, gloves and hats notwithstanding, this first full day of spring, a season that gives rise to the hope of the flowering of nature and the flourishing of humanity, we ask you to continue to bless the work of our hands and our equipment as this dream, so many months in coming, now begins to take shape before our eyes. We give thanks to everyone who's brought this project to bear to this point. We ask you to bless and keep safe all those who will continue to work on it, and we ask you to bless the hopes of the children and the neighborhood and the city that will benefit from this good work. Let us all say amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Monsignor. I note in the crowd, certainly our Board of Ed, we're going to note them in a moment, but I also see two members of the SDA Board right here from New Brunswick, Kevin Egan and Mario, who's Mario? And Mario Vargas from Pratt, but also I get nervous on it. This is the only time I get nervous. That and checking my lottery tickets. And we lost, by the way. Thank you, Lindsay Kerrigan. In July of 2004, I became the superintendent of schools here. At that time, I met early on with the then chief executive officer of the School Construction Commission, as it was called, who was charged with the responsibility of building schools throughout New Jersey's so-called avid school districts. New Brunswick was slated to receive a new high school, a demonstration project, one of 5, rebuilding of Lincoln, Redshaw, Roosevelt, addition of Paul Robeson, and 3 new K centers, and the opening of a temporary swing space facility that would allow for the systematic transfer of students attending these schools to transition out of their older buildings and every 2 years return to their new schools on the same community site. In early summer of 2005, the demolition of the old A. Chester Redshaw School began, and students were moved to the new swing space, temporary space, I might add, located at Jersey Avenue and Van Dyke Street. In early March of 2006, just about this time, I received a call from then Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Scott Wiener, who told me he had good news and bad news. Being an optimist, I asked him for the good news first. He said he was preparing a change order for the SDA Board of Directors to consider to prepare the Redshaw site for construction. I asked them what could be the bad news. He said in April he was going to ask the SCC Board to shut down the project due to lack of funds. Needless to say, in New Brunswick, we were devastated. Our Board of Education immediately sprang into action along with our administrative team to develop strategies to get our beloved and much-needed Redshaw School built, and our children returned from temporary locations and warehouses back into their neighborhood school. Countless hours, months, and years were spent lobbying to get our school built. Our Board of Education members and the city and state officials worked with the SBA, Office of the Governor, the media, and community to harness everyone's energy to get the Redshaw School and other projects built. Every opportunity to discuss our plight at a variety of civic events with our state representatives included pleas by our board members, our administrative team, to assist us in getting our school built. I know there's at least one representative sitting up here who remembers an opportunity we had together from the roof. And I asked that individual to take a little walk with me on the roof, and I showed him what he already knew was this vacant lot. And he pledged that he would do everything he could to make sure not only was that school built, but that he would co-author a bill to add $3.1 billion to New Jersey's SDA to complete the mission. Well, here we are. And it's the beginning of a long set of circumstances that brings us a new Redshaw School. I want to take this opportunity to thank Mark Norris, who became the Executive Director of the SBA, and who met with me in my office almost 4 years ago. He toured the site, he went to the swing space, he met with the students, staff, and principal, and he told me that day he was committed to build the Redshaw School. Mark, you've truly been a partner in this process, put up with my calls, understood our frustrations, mobilized along with our Board of Education, city and state representatives, and your own board to forge ahead. We will forever be grateful because in just 15 to 18 months, he has told me, and Mr. Hall from Hall Construction is building it, has told me once again we should be back on this site to cut the ribbon of the new Redshaw School. We will have spent 10 years in the temporary facility, once again returning our students to their rightful place in a school that totally will provide them with wonderful new opportunities. So what will this vacant lot, which is now undergoing construction and sawing, which is good sound. It will rise to be 135 square feet. It will contain 44 classrooms. It will have an art room, computer access, total technology, music, choral, science, gymnasium, auditorium, library, separate cafeteria, 6 kindergarten classes, and to meet that commitment of those early childhood buildings that were not built, 10 early childhood classrooms. It will truly be a state-of-the-art for instructional technology, and facing the Livingston School, it will finally have a playground, something our kids have not had for the past 8 years. It will provide educational opportunities that our children desperately need. It will also provide community-friendly access to expand our parental role in the education of the students, much like Lord Sterling, the high school, and Paul Robeson. To be that link between our students and their families with lifelong learning opportunities so they can thrive, be nurtured, and become valued members of our community and society in general. A big thank you to the New Brunswick Board of Education members for their tireless work on behalf of all those you serve to make this day finally possible. At this time, I'd like to call upon the Honorable Senator Bob Smith, one of those gentlemen who stood with me on that roof of Anshe Emmett. He also stood tall for the city of New Brunswick, our public schools, when he co-authored that additional legislation to provide that $3.1 billion to complete the SBA promise and to build schools throughout the state. I give you the Honorable Senator Bob Smith.
Superintendent Kaplan, Mayor Cahill, dignitaries, residents of New Brunswick, what a fabulous day today is, don't you agree? And it's fabulous for all of us, but it's fabulous for our kids. You're going to have a beautiful state-of-the-art school, some of the nicest facilities in the state. I will say that this project follows the admonition from biblical times. Takes longer, costs more. That's the admonition with regard to all construction. I wish we were here 5 years ago and the building was built, but it's a great day whenever you're groundbreaking. This is $52 million. We're going to put hundreds of people to work, and we're going to have a facility that are going to make our kids and our future generations proud. So it's a fabulous day. Just to show you how smart a politician I am, when the superintendent said, "Are you going to get me to school, or do I have to push you off to Temple?" and said, "Superintendent, whatever you want." And then every other night for a long period of time, about 3 o'clock in the morning, there'd be a call, and I knew it was Mayor Cahill's voice. He'd say, "Where is my school?" And then during the daytime there'd be a call, and I knew it was the superintendent's voice. "Where is my school?" New Brunswick is blessed to have such great leaders, both the mayor and council, board of education. You worked hard. You deserve this to happen. You've done the right thing by the kids and your citizens, and I congratulate all of you. Just to show you how smart a politician I am. That's it. 30 seconds and I'm up.
Wow!
That's one thing they can say, superintendents are never politicians. Okay. Oops, wrong administration. I do want to introduce to all of you the Board of Education of New Brunswick, who has stood by this project, have been cheerleaders, have written letters, protest marches, listened to my crazy ravings, and said, "You really should do more. You really should do more." I already introduced our president, our vice president, Pat Sadowski, unfortunately, who's a nurse at Robert Wood Johnson, could not be here, but we do, and a former past president, but we do have with us former past president Emma Seawood, and she's the one who's president. Pat Sadowski and Emma were a team when I got hired, so blame her. Benito Ortiz, also a past president, Dr. John Kranos, former president, and our two newest board members and supporters, Ron Hush and Diane Fajardo. Thank you. Okay, at this time, it is my honor and privilege to introduce the mayor of New Brunswick, Mr. James Cahill. before he leaps up. I can't decide if he's praying. In my religion, davening. He's got that down really good. He has to go to the bathroom or he's cold. But I do all three. And this is from the heart. I'd like to introduce him and just tell you that I've worked in a number of cities, and most of you know I'm a former state assistant commissioner of education, and I've seen an awful lot of folks. I have worked with mayors, I've worked with freeholders, governors, and all that good stuff. This is a man who is a resident, lifetime resident of this community, who cares about the community, and Senator Smith's right. I made the daytime calls, he made the nighttime calls. Never giving up, always giving us support and help. And the reality is that an awful lot of good things come here in New Brunswick because of his hard work. I give you the Honorable James K. Lyon.
Thanks, Rich, and good morning, everybody. It is a great day. But I have to say this, and normally when we do groundbreakings, you know, I'm very upbeat, and I am today. But if anyone was looking to do a case study on how not to develop a new school, I can tell you that the H. Esther Redshaw Elementary School would be prime example number one. The journey began quite some time ago to get to this point today. The process began in 2003 when the New Brunswick Public School District, as part of its required master plan for school development, proposed a new school to replace the existing Redshaw Elementary School to the New Jersey Department of Education and to the New Jersey Schools Construction Corporation, the predecessor to the Schools Development Authority. In 2005, the SCC demolished Redshaw School in preparation for the construction of a new school. Despite repeated requests from New Brunswick to hold off on the demolition until the replacement school was actually approved, the SCC said no and proceeded to demolish the school, resulting in the education of the Redshaw School students in a proposed short-term transitional facility across town on Jersey Avenue. Unfortunately, shortly after the SCC demolished the school, we learned that the SCC was placing a moratorium on all building projects throughout the state, so the Redshaw School project was delayed, delay that now has taken 8 years to revive this project. I would suggest to you that by any standard of measurement, that is unacceptable. New Brunswick, along with our redevelopment partner, DevCo, has a proven track record in school construction, having designed and completed Lord Sterling School, our new high school, with the help of the SDA, on time and under budget. And that includes acquiring and assembling of the land in considerably less time than it took us to get to today's groundbreaking. But the good news is, in 2010, 5 years after the demolition, Mark Larkins became the CEO of the School Development Authority, in the process of preparing the authority's budget and getting projects moving again began. And while it took another 2 years, in September of last year, the authority notified New Brunswick that the Redshaw School project has finally been approved. So, Mark Larkins, let me thank you and your staff for your tremendous efforts in getting the Redshaw School project back on track for approval. Senator Smith, thank you for your constant lobbying and good support to you and Joe Egan and Pendra Shivakula for all that you do on our legislative behalf. And to the New Brunswick Board of Education and to Superintendent Kaplan and to all your entire staff, thank you for your professionalism, your diligence in working with the School Development Authority on this project. There is no doubt but for your persistence, this groundbreaking and the eventual construction of the new Redshaw School would not be happening today. So best wishes to all for a very speedy construction. Thanks a lot, everybody.
I just want to introduce another important team group that worked with us tirelessly throughout these many years to see this become a reality. Our Assistant Superintendent John Ansel, who just joined us, but brings a lot of calming to my He's my in-house therapist and an outstanding educator. Our school business administrator, Richard Janner. Where's Richard? There he is, right up here. Good for you. Our Director of Support Services, someone I stole from Epic Construction. You see those signs? They're the overseer, Jack Hummer. Where's Jack? Jack is hiding. Oh, there he is. All right, Jack Hummer. And our Principal, Vicki Abdus-Salam. There she is. And our Director of Buildings and Grounds, Mr. Harold Goodlow, right back there. He made all this happen today. And now, the head coach, the team leader, the president of the New Brunswick Board of Education, a true believer that all is possible if you work harder each day to make it a reality, Mr. Ed Spencer. Okay?
I'm not going to belabor it because I'm cold out here. I don't know how everybody else is handling it. It's been a long time just having this situation to happen for us, and I want to thank first my colleagues, because they, along with myself, worked diligently to try to do what's best for the community and for the children. And it would not have been possible if it wasn't from the support that we got from the mayor and also from Rich Kaplan. And Mr. Kaplan, I must say, he took a lot of abuse from us to make this happen. So I want to thank everyone for their efforts in making this day possible. Thank you very much.
I'd also like to introduce the President of City Council, Rebecca Escobar. Thank her.
Cool.
And Kevin Egan, who wears multiple hats. Councilman Egan. Okay, so at this time, now that he's frozen, thought about what he wants to say, and before I do that, let me introduce the Executive County Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Sam Stewart. Former Superintendent of South Brunswick, so he has a pass to be here today. And then our guys in blue will escort you out. Anyway, it's my privilege to introduce our newest partner, someone who truly helped make this possible. A man who really came on board and got control. And that's Mr. Mark Larkins, the Chief Executive Officer of NJSDA. Larkin.
Good morning, all, and it really is a great day to be here. Obviously very cold, so I'll try to be brief. I do want to say that today is a day that I'm selfishly happy for. Mainly because Superintendent Kaplan told me very early on in that first meeting that I think you referenced earlier, that if I didn't get this school going, I could never show my face in New Brunswick again. And I gotta admit, you guys got a lot of good restaurants, a lot of good entertainment. So for me, I was dying to have this day come, and it's finally here. So hopefully I'll be walking back. But no, really for the students, for the community, for the parents, teachers, educators that have to work in this facility, we're proud to be a part of it. Certainly I have to thank a couple people. I obviously have to thank Governor Christie, because without Governor Christie's commitment, support of the program, and this particular project, and the way we sought to make changes in the organization and to deliver our project today would not have happened, and it certainly would not have happened as quickly as it has. I have to thank, obviously, the people from the local community, the superintendent's office, school board, all of your local and state leaders. Certainly, we have to continue the work that we've started here in New Brunswick. This one, I'm going to make this announcement today. This obviously is just the first of several other projects that we've been discussing with the superintendent's office, and we're looking to get off the ground relatively soon. So we're excited to continue our work here in the city of New Brunswick. And finally, I just want to say, I hope that the students that have the opportunity to attend this world-class facility will make the most of it and will go on to do great things in their lives and continue to give back to their respective communities as they grow up. So thanks for having us. We're proud to partner with the city of New Brunswick in this project and look forward to future events here and future events at other projects throughout the city. So have a great day, all. Thank you.
Bravo.
Can we get the youngsters back out? Because now this is like the golden moment. Are they over here? I thought they were okay.
Here comes the kid. Here comes the kid.
How are you?